Welcome home. It was fairly easy to find the arrival gate, the arrival time, and the airline company. The departure airport. Touma Yoko told me everything.
Why?
I'm here to take you to Setsuna's birthday party.
Uh-huh.
Although I know what Touma is really asking, I deliberately only tell her what I want to say. I'll carry your luggage. Come on, let's go. It's fine. I'm sending these home. Is that so? Without even trying to argue with me, Touma lowers her head and awkwardly mutters to herself.
How did you know?
By the time Touma spoke again, it had already been a while since we'd gotten on the train. All the while, Touma kept throwing uncertain glances my way, as if something were making her feel awkward. I met Yoko-san.
My mother told you.
She was a lot nicer and more normal than I had thought she'd be. It was quite a relief, but also a bit anticlimactic. When she said, "I'm pretty nervous since it's the first time I'm talking to my daughter's boyfriend," I thought she was teasing me for a moment.
I've also only recently realized that my mom's that sort of a person myself.
Looks like it. On the day of the school festival, Toma's mother returned to Japan just to hear her daughter's performance. Not for a competition or a concert, but for a mere sideshow like that.
She is aged, too, after all. She doesn't have the power to turn everyone around her against herself anymore.
Is that so? I think that she still looks freakishly young, even though she didn't tell me in detail about what happened between her and her daughter. It looks like they've resolved their misunderstandings and reforged their bonds somewhat.
It's silly that I'd been hating my mom despite who she really is. The truth is, I've realized that I was just a daughter who had made some very wrong assumptions.
Touma, though I never managed to understand what she meant by those enigmatic words. Maybe it's thanks to you, Guitar-kun.
So, what did you hear from my mom?
Here it comes. I heard that your new teacher has been decided.
That? It was really difficult, yeah.
Something that the both of us have been meaning to confirm, but we're unable to due to our fear.
He made me play the same piece over and over, and if he didn't like even a single part, he made me repeat it from the top.
Wow, sounds tough.
If he wanted to flunk me, he could have done so quickly, but he just kept telling me to come back again the next day, over and over.
Yeah, so it sounds like a test of her determination. If she put up with all this, she is actually determined to play. If the potential student just went, "Fuck off, old man," after being told to play the piece for the 39th time, then that's not the student for him.
Ultimately, it took a whole week for him to come to a decision.
I see. That must have been really hard on you. Well done.
I don't feel like doing anything today. I'll go home, take a hot shower, and then head straight to bed.
Unfortunately, I can't let you do that, Touma.
And why is that?
Because you're coming along to Setsuna's birthday party with me.
Listen, I just said I'm tired. Besides, Setsuna only needs you there.
Once you get there, you will tell her straight that you're going to be living with your mother, that you'll be moving to Europe next month. However, I have no choice but to confirm it. Touma falls silent. wordlessly confirming my statement. Apparently, it was originally Touma Yoko's proposal. With Touma's graduation and her mother's change in base of activity, both of them would be living in Austria together. For that reason, her mother has been looking for a new house in Austria and making new arrangements for Touma's training, with the aim of reintroducing the strict and rigorous education for her daughter that she'd once given up on. I pointed out sincerely to Touma Yoko that doing all this after 3 years of neglect is too sudden. However, she admitted the fact that she abandoned Touma, and also acknowledged Touma's current talent. Where are you going?
I'm taking a taxi home. Let's part ways here.
No, you're not. We have to go see Setsuna together.
I told you that I'm tired, didn't I?
Call her then. Tell her yourself, Touma. Hey, wait! Touma! But above all, what came as the biggest shock was that Touma agreed to her mother's proposal willingly, even though her mother gave her the right to refuse. She never used that right. There's nothing we can do about you going to Europe. No, if anything, I think it's a good decision for your career and your family.
Yeah, I'll finally get to live with my mom.
Right. I think that's a good thing. She should be genuinely happy to say that. But when she mutters it and strides at a pace that makes it seem as if she's running away from me, I frankly find myself unable to accept it. But you'll be breaking our promise, so you have to explain it to Setsuna. I won't allow you to leave without saying a word.
Fine already. I'll tell her eventually.
Eventually is not good enough. Tell her now. Perhaps realizing that I won't stop no matter how fast she walks or even runs, Touma gradually slows down.
Give me a break already. Telling her right now takes a lot of determination.
When she finally looks back at me, as if given up, Touma shows an expression that I had never seen before. Maybe it's wrong to describe it as such, but it's a very subservient smile.
Kitahara, you know Setsuna well, don't you? You know that this is sure to make her cry, right?
Of course it is! You're breaking our promise, after all. The promise that the three of us would stay together forever. My irritation only grows as she continues to smile in that way. No, that's wrong. We made a promise that couldn't be kept to begin with.
In that case, don't put the blame on me like this.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just asking you to be honest with her. I'm just telling you not to lie. That's all. I'm becoming nauseous again.
I will tell her. I'm just asking you to wait for today.
Who is the lowly liar here, spewing words that apply far more to himself?
I never expected to be found out right after returning. No, I mean, I'm going to make some time to find the right words to say, and then do it.
I really can't believe this. Am I out of my mind right now?
I was hoping that you two could hear me out calmly. If I said it now, we would probably end up arguing. So please, give me some time to sort this out.
Also,
Setsuna hasn't realized it yet, right? Then it's fine, isn't it?
is Touma out of her mind right now?
So, Please, Kitahara, I'm begging you. Let's not tell her today, okay? Not me, and not you either.
Why is she acting so subservient and undignified? And making excuses left and right with that faint smile.
Be by her side for her birthday party. Just let me distance myself for a while.
This is not Touma Kazusa.
Well then, I'll be going home now.
Touma leans towards the road and raises her hand. A taxi notices her immediately, stops in front of us, and opens its door.
I'm sorry, Kitahara.
Lastly, with a face on the verge of tears, she looks my way and apologizes. But while that apology seems to be directed at me, she's only really concerned about Setsuna. As Touma tries to get in, I'm sorry, she won't be riding. I grab her raised right hand and forcefully pulled her back to the sidewalk. I'm sorry, she's had a bit too much to drink. Please, just go on ahead.
Hey, you...
Overtly displeased, the taxi driver clicks his tongue and quickly drives off. I stand there bowing my head and keeping my eyes on the taxi until it fades out of sight.
What do you think you're doing?
Naturally, Touma now stands next to me with her right wrist still in my hand, and her expression has changed drastically. From a tearful smile to a perplexed anger. That's what I should be asking you? But that expression of anger is proof that I finally cut off all her escape routes.
Kitahara?
And so, in the next moment, as I raise my head, I glare directly at Touma's face. Why? Why are you trying to leave me?
Huh?
And if there are things one should and should not say according to common sense, the thing I just said definitely belongs in the latter category. At last, I've come face to face with my true feelings. Why didn't you consult me even once about this? Why? Touma! I didn't lash out at her over the fact that she lied to Setsuna, but the fact that she tried to leave me. Is this all I mean to you? Is that all I've ever meant to you? Not only is she trying to leave me, but in acting so utterly uncharacteristically of herself, Touma is thoroughly crushing even my memories of her, and I couldn't forgive that. Toma's anger and confusion quickly subsides. The more and more heated I become, the more blank and cold her own face becomes in contrast. It feels like everything that led to this point could be frozen and reduced to nothing. Answer me! I can feel myself becoming increasingly pale as well. All the powerful emotions I just poured out are losing their momentum and are leading to a letdown. What a mess. Now I've done it. It's all over. These cold thoughts of mine are transforming into cold sweat and crawling down my back. So,
That's all you mean to me.
hearing those words, I sense the metallic taste of blood spreading throughout my mouth.
That's all you mean to me. And that's why I didn't tell you anything.
I've gone so numb already that I can't even feel the pain that should come after.
About going overseas, about us going our separate ways, and about how I felt. I didn't tell you anything. That's all you mean to me.
I don't understand. Weren't we friends?
What friends? You couldn't How could I ever be friends with someone I can't even tell all the things I want to?
Don't laugh. My eyes that were glaring at Touma until just now are now focused on a point on the road, ridiculed and crushed by Touma's sneering words. My aimless feelings have now truly lost any place to go and are about to flow out through my eyes.
This is getting ridiculous. Why do I have to stand here and smile while looking like I'm making excuses?
I said, don't laugh.
And the whole, why are you trying to leave me? How can you say something like that with a straight face? Kirahara, who the hell do you think you are?
Stop it. It's going to spill out. My stupid misunderstanding is going to make stains around my feet after being ripped to shreds by someone who's not even a friend, but a mere acquaintance.
That's not something I want to hear from my best friend's boyfriend. Weren't you the one who left me first? Weren't you the one who went to a place beyond my reach first?
As I raise my eyes once again, I see the things I almost shed now flowing down without end. Unbelievably enough, from Touma's own eyes.
Oh, he's keeping me at arm's length, but never letting me reach you. Was that torture your idea?
This isn't a joke. I truly believe that no one in this world would be able to joke around with words and a bearing like that.
So, why am I the one taking all the blame?
The words spilling out from her trembling lips and the emotions engulfing her distorted face align perfectly as Touma screams them out.
Every day, every single day, every fucking day, watching you and having my heart shredded to pieces. And now that's somehow all my fault? You're awful.
Even so, this is a joke, right? As usual, my mouth denies Touma's words.
How are you still saying that?
But, Touma, I thought you didn't think anything of me. I thought that I alone was just running around in circles, thinking myself pathetic for being unable to give up. I don't deny it. All the decisions I've made up until now have been for nothing. That's why I told myself to at least become sincere, to never lie to you or Setsuna, like how I have always had Touma on my mind. How it only took one moment for me to become attracted to Setsuna. When Setsuna confessed to me, I wanted to ask if she was joking, but then I had to think about it very seriously, like how I felt for Setsuna's singing voice, like how I entrusted my body to Touma's performances. If someone were to ask me whether I like or hate Setsuna, well, isn't it a given? Of course I like her. Like how if I were asked the question of who I liked more, the true answer was already so clear. Setsuna seemed ridiculously happy when I told her that. And that's when I finally realized that she was serious. But then, how rather than continuing to dwell on my delusions, I believed that I should treasure the words and emotions of someone who gave me their heart. Even so, I simply didn't want to lie to you, Touma. That's why you were the first one I told about it. Like how I believed that my feelings would never reach that certain someone who never told me anything.
You're saying that telling me first was being sincere? What part of that was being sincere?
But Touma, you said that you give us your blessings.
Forcing the knowledge of something that will clearly hurt them on someone? You call that being sincere?
I never knew I was hurting you because you were just your usual self.
That's just the ignorance of a loser who has no idea how to handle women.
That's right. I'm just a plain, boring loser. Someone like you would never even take a second look at me.
Don't you dare tell me how I feel when you don't know the first thing about women. What's wrong with me falling in love with a loser?
Then why didn't you say something? How the hell was I supposed to know?
How could I have? Setsuna already said it first. I would have definitely hurt Setsuna if I did.
See? You're just like me, aren't you? In order to be sincere to Setsuna, you can be sincere to me, right? Ugh. Even after finding out each other's misunderstandings, the crack between us is already too wide to mend. Coinciding with our moment of silence, snow begins to fall. As if to cover up this sorrowful encounter, the white, untarnished snow falls from above the city.
Kitahara, it looks like we've finally become friends just now, you and I.
Touma wipes around her eyes in one swipe, and once again forces out the subservient smile.
I've told you everything that I've wanted to. Now you know everything about me.
Touma!
Though our friendship ended the moment it started.
One step, two steps. Touma backs away, once again trying to escape towards the road.
Don't chase after me this time. Don't ever show yourself in front of me again.
She's trying to leave me.
Even though I'm telling you this right now, I'm actually deeply regretting it inside, you know?
Which is why one step, two steps, I close the distance between us. I corner Touma.
Wait, Kitahara, I told you not to...
Focused on me, Touma hits the guardrail behind her and can't back away any further. And also B-roll. So I...
Stop it. You can't do this.
I've caught her. Finally, I've caught Touma inside my arms.
Kitahara.
As I grab her shoulders and come face to face with her, her swollen red eyes and wet cheeks make her look like a completely different person. Touma!
No, don't.
However, her beauty remains the same, even in her miserable state. And that unwavering fact carves itself into my heart. In that instant, there was only one girl on my mind in the whole world. Touma's lips, as if reflecting her own tastes, have a very sweet aroma to them. Soft, wet, and hot. With a supernatural charm, they strip me of all reason and immerse me in a state of ecstasy. While savoring the dreamlike sensations of her lips, I invade deeper through a slight gap between them. There's something in there, even hotter and softer than her lips, though with a slightly rougher surface as well. As I wrap around the tip of her tongue with my own, Touma's entire body starts to tremble. This brings me even more delight. And as I proceed even deeper inside, with the intent of entwining with everything in her mouth, in the very next moment, I feel the sharp pain of her furious rejection on both my chest and my cheek. Touma? She pushed me away with all her strength, and then slapped my cheek with full force, with the clear intent of rejection. Fuck you! As if telling me that it's too late. Touma, I love... As if to say that she won't ever give me a second thought anymore.
Why?
As if saying that I'm as good as nothing to her now.
Why are you so used to it?
If only she had just said any of those things to me.
How many times have you kissed Setsuna already?
But the words that Touma uttered.
Just how far will you leave me behind until you're satisfied?
Were those of unbelievably repressed sadness and jealousy from the depths of her heart. Finally, without looking back, Touma turns and runs away from me at a dead run. The gradually intensifying snow hides her silhouette. If I ran, I might be able to chase her down. I might be able to catch Touma again. But the falling snow, Touma's last words, shackle both of my legs, weighing them down with inescapable, heavy chains.
.8 Celsius. Looks like you've made it through the critical part.
Critical? You don't need to exaggerate it.
What are you saying? Don't underestimate a cold. Just this morning, your fever was almost 40, you know?
Really? I honestly don't remember.
Figures. You seem to have been falling in and out of consciousness from such a high fever.
It doesn't seem as though she was exaggerating, even in the slightest. Monday was a national holiday, meaning it's been 2 days since then. But it feels like just yesterday to me, on that day. As nighttime came, snow started falling intensely and showed no signs of stopping even after midnight. Amidst that snow, I stood in place. I couldn't move after parting with her. I couldn't even go and meet Setsuna, even though she was waiting. I just stood there, motionless, I guess.
I'll put the rest of the porridge in the fridge, okay? It's the one I told you about before, the canned one.
The next thing I remember, I was shivering in my bed. My face was a tearful mess, and my throat was dry.
When you're hungry, just ding it. No, I mean, heat it up in the microwave and eat it. Looks like I picked up my mom's way of talking.
When I next came to my senses, I saw Setsuna in front of me with a relieved expression and felt a cold towel on my face. Setsuna.
What is it? Want some water?
I'm sorry.
For what?
First off, I'm sorry that I didn't come to your party.
Well, of course you couldn't. You shouldn't have even tried to leave your home in that condition, you know?
The sheer convenience of my current miserable state happens to fit the bill for a valid excuse of missing Setsuna's birthday party.
Well, I would like you to be more aware of how poorly you're treating your own body, Haruki-kun.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. You must be really sick if you're taking that seriously.
I'm not lying. But in a situation like this, not saying it is essentially the same as lying to her. Second of all, I'm sorry that you had to come all the way here.
When Kazusa fell sick, I couldn't even visit her. This is payback for that. And besides, I'm glad that you're relying on me.
I'm sorry.
You should stop apologizing already. There's a limit to how timid you can be, you know?
At first, when I saw Setsuna, I thought that she had gotten worried because she couldn't get in touch with me, so she decided to come here. But when I checked my phone's call history, I realized that I was the one who called her first. I'm the worst. And third, maybe I just called because I wanted to apologize for not coming to the party. Maybe I just wanted to leave her a happy birthday message. Right now, I can't really remember why I called her. Nevertheless, the fact remains that I called her. I told her that I collapsed. I reached out to the girl whose feelings I betrayed one-sidedly just a few hours prior.
Try not to think too much. You should just get some sleep right now.
Yeah, not even capable of admitting that I betrayed her. And yet I'm longing for nothing more than her kindness again. I'm the worst of the worst.
I think it's about time for me to head home. It's about time for my family to come back home too.
Did they go somewhere?
Yeah, they went to the shopping mall together this morning. Yeah, they're shopping, eating, and watching movies.
Is that so? Sorry again. I'm sure you wanted to join them too, right, Setsuna?
Don't worry about it. It's a bit embarrassing always going out with my family anyway.
That's a lie. There's no way Setsuna, or any of her family, would want to distance themselves like that. Setsuna went out of her way because of me. For a traitor like me.
Well then, I'll see ya.
Wait. Inside my bag.
What is it?
There's a small box, wrapped in paper.
What's the matter?
I want you to have it. It's nothing. I don't have the right to say something like that right now.
Get some sleep, okay? I think you'd better spend tomorrow resting too. I'll come by again after school.
Setsuna's hand touches my cheek. Her hands are cold from her efforts to take care of me, but that's exactly what makes them comfortingly warm and makes me want to cry.
Okay, see ya, Haruki-kun.
Please don't. You'll get infected, so... Setsuna closes her eyes in front of me. Her breath brushes against my lips, but I can no longer accept such beautiful, genuine feelings from her. Even so, Setsuna's lips are soft and warm.
I hope that'll help you get well soon.
That's why, the moment she leaves, the tears that I held in finally began to overflow. The truth is, I don't have the right to cry at all, but my tears just won't stop. I really am the worst. regardless of whether it's done out of kindness or cruelty, regardless of whether it's for the sake of oneself or someone else. A lie is still a lie. And liars are simply the worst.
I'm heading out.
Good morning. February 14th, Thursday.
Feeling better already?
My fever had already gone down yesterday in the first place. There won't be any more important classes either, so I just brought the essentials. In the end, I finally returned to the world today after 2 days of being sick.
Oh, so you've recovered. I'm glad. That's such a relief.
Thanks for visiting me every day. You really helped me out. My mother actually came home every night, but besides exchanging a few words with me, as usual, she didn't even bother coming to check up on me. That's why Setsuna nursed me and prepared all my meals up until yesterday, though my laundry inevitably piled up.
Don't worry about it. I enjoyed doing it. It's my privilege as your girlfriend, right?
It really helped me and made me happy, and made me so happy. Thank you, but my heart was hurting the whole time.
Let's go to school then. Since you came all the way to pick me up, Haruki-kun, I don't want us to be late.
Wait a minute. Before that, here.
Jeez, now you're bringing it up. I've been waiting like, is he gonna do it yet? Is he gonna? All along, you know?
I actually had a paper-wrapped basket hanging from my hand for the occasion of my return.
It's beautiful.
The store salesperson recommended it, so if you have any praise or complaint, you can take them there. Unwrapping the paper, she discovers a potted flower.
This is a butterfly orchid, isn't it? It must have been expensive, right?
You promised not to ask about the price.
Thank you. I'm really happy with it.
And I'm sorry for giving it a bit late.
You're not late, though. You know? Not at all.
True. Today is February 14th. It's not only the day of the party. It's not the day of the party. It's actually Setsuna's birthday today. After finally being able to get out of bed yesterday, I bought this present in a flower shop in front of the station.
Thank you so much. I'll take good care of it.
Yeah, I chose it because I knew you'd be able to. I put all of my heart into it. I put all my heart in it, but I decided not to put any truly significant meaning in it. I hid the ring that I had bought before in the deepest corner of my desk drawer, and I sealed it away in the deepest corner in my heart.
Then this is a humble response from me. No, I'm actually only saying that to hide my embarrassment.
Thanks. Then, just like I expected, Setsuna opens her bag and hands me a small red paper package. Today is February 14th, after all. Completely coincidentally, it's Valentine's Day.
Here, I'll let you check inside my bag while I'm at it. There aren't any others meant for anyone else. See? This is the only one.
I appreciate it.
I did end up giving one to my dad and Takahiro, but, well, you can overlook that, right?
Setsuna laughs mischievously while jokingly sticking her tongue out at me.
It's so cold.
Thought you said you liked winter.
I never said I like winter. I said I like snow.
Won't you feel cold when it snows, though?
Well, I won't feel cold in the slightest as long as it snows. I'd be fine in the snow-capped mountains or in Hokkaido.
I really can't understand what you're saying sometimes, Setsuna.
I hope we get snow again. A whole blanket of white, just like last week. I'm so sorry.
No, it's actually my fault. You don't need to apologize, Setsuna.
I was worried about it, hoping I could help you forget about it. I'm so clumsy.
Setsuna's kindness stings me in a way that is different from the chill of the wind. It's a reserved kindness, one that's the complete opposite of how I meddle in others' business like I usually do. Say, Setsuna, why do you like snow so much?
Because it's pretty, isn't it?
Is that all?
Is that so strange?
But I can't face that kindness head on. Normally, people have some deep reason for it, right? Some scenery that you saw in the past, fond memory, or maybe your name.
Now that you mention it, I do have the character for snow in my name, Setsuna. I never gave it that much thought.
Yeah. If you machine translate it, her name comes out as Yukina. Now that I mention it, don't you think your parents would be really upset if they heard you?
Is it strange to say that I just like it? Do you hate it, Haruki-kun? The snow, I mean.
I don't exactly hate it, but I do think it's all sorts of trouble. I would have smiled and answered with, no, I actually like it too, if I were my usual self though. Trains arrive late, people tend to slip accidentally, and yet the school never even gives us days off. It seems that I'm bothered by something I can't really put my finger on today. And I suppose that's why I'm getting worked up over trivial matters. Besides that, cars can crash into it too.
Yeah, that really happened to us, huh?
I was prepared for an accident back then, but even still, it wasn't a good feeling.
But it was so beautiful, right? The blanketed scenery we saw through the inn's windows, and the snow that came down in the open-air bath.
Yeah.
I'd really like to go again. Just like that, the three of us together.
I see. Now I understand why I'm disturbed by Setsuna's words. I'm afraid of the snow. I'm afraid of it because it's beautiful. It's because it's so beautiful that I'm afraid something unbelievable might happen again. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, etc. Setsuna's name. As it's written, it could be interpreted as either Setsuna or Yukina. The first symbol is that for snow, but it can be read as Yuki, which is literally snow, or Setsu. Her name could be interpreted as white as snow or even Snow White, though this visual novel does lack the 7 dwarves.